What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Invest with a Purpose. Today's video is going to be about what exactly is going on with the candlesticks and the charts, kind of like a technical analysis breakdown on the patterns that are forming and that have already formed on Shiba Inu, and how and what effect that is going to have on its future. I'm going to do my best to explain it in the most simple way possible for those of you who have not been investing in the market for a long time, or if you have some experience in the market like myself. My background personally is I've been a day trader in the stock market for the last 3-ish years, and so I know a lot about technical analysis and fundamentals when it comes to like market cap and other things like that. So I'm pretty well rounded with that. I'm not perfect, I don't know everything, this is not financial advice, but this is how I read charts in a way that you could read them too. We're going to start off with how candlesticks work and stuff like that, then we're going to work our way into recapping our key levels that I posted our video on yesterday, and then we're going to get into the patterns like the bull flag and the wedge that is forming currently. Before we hop over onto the computer, I want to remind you guys to subscribe if you have not already and turn on the bell notification so you never miss an upload from myself, and so you can join the family and the community that we have here. It's all about positivity and good energy, and if you don't have that, then this just isn't the channel for you. And I will not put up with any of that stuff in the comments, so people who are trolls or trying to put out negativity, you'll either get reported or you'll get removed. So only positivity here, and everyone who's positive and wants to just make money and get rich, you came to the right place. So if you have not already, join the family, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and let's get into today's video. So if you guys remember from yesterday, we went over key levels. So I'll redraw out our key levels, which is basically support and resistance, where the support goes from where it bounces up from, like where it comes down and hits. So this would be a support because it came down and hit this area. One thing to take note of is that previous supports generally become new resistance. So let's say this crashed right now, which I don't think it will, and I'm not saying that at all, but let's say this crashed right now and came down. So let's draw another line. Let's say it went all the way down like this. What would happen next is, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, it would come back up and hit this previous support, and then that would be a resistance. Resistance being where it normally goes up and gets stopped. So for instance, we have a resistance here going across like so, because generally we see the candlesticks come down and then come up to this area, get rejected, come down, come up to this, generally gets rejected, but this time it actually broke through, came back down, got rejected, went down, came up, got rejected, came down, went up, got rejected, or it's kind of bouncing right there again. Let me get these out of our way. But yeah, so these are our current support levels and resistance levels, our key areas. If you guys have not watched that video, you can go back and watch my last video talking about key levels, which is basically just the support and resistance and where we can be expecting, because you want to buy low and sell high. So let's say you were trading this, you would buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. And a person in the comments actually commented and talked about how there's fees. I'm going to continue to put these on the screen, but I'm going to talk about something else while I put on these key levels. But a person in my comments actually made a really good point talking about how, keep in mind that when you do decide to sell or buy, you have fees that are incorporated, whether it be with that particular coin or with the exchange that you're using. So just be cautious and know that whatever you're trying to sell or your profits, you have to take that into account when you're trying to trade or make your transactions or whatever. And that's with cryptocurrencies. If you took these same strategies, because it does work, these same strategies for stocks and stuff like that, you don't have that. You still have to worry about taxes and things of that sort, but that's something you kind of need to deal with on your own, depending on what your tax bracket is and different stuff like that. So here I just want to mark up the key levels there, and just so you can see that once more time. And then let's go over, and before we get into the wedges and the patterns, let's take a look at candlesticks. 15-minute chart will be better. Okay, so candlesticks. So on the 15-minute chart, each one of these candlesticks stand for one 15-minute period. So let's say this was at 8 o'clock. Okay, this one was at 7 o'clock. As you can see down below here, it says 7 o'clock on June 21st. So if you guys can see that. And so this candlestick was at 7 o'clock, right? And so the next candlestick was at 7:15, because it started at 7, it ended at 15. So then the next one, sometimes you see these gaps because there's a big influx of volume that gets pushed in, and then it gaps up. So there's a gap here, and this is where the candlestick starts. So this would be like 7:16. Okay, it would start at 7:15 and it would go all the way up until 7:13 or 7:30, and at 7:30 it would start a new line. So we can see that this one handed off its price to here. Because it gapped, it makes it a little harder. So let's go back over here, right? So this one was at I don't want to use it. Okay, this is military time, but 18:30, which is 6:30. So from 6:30, it went from here to here, and then the next one started at 6:45. Okay, and from 6:45 at the bottom, you can see this candlestick. It's taken over by this one because it's a new time period. So it just hands off the price, starts here and ended here. Next one starts here and ended here within that 15-minute period. And then the next one, as you see, it's a red stick, so that means it went down. So now you read it from top to bottom. So it started at that price over there, as you can see over at 89560. It started there and it ended down here. So you read it from top to bottom when they're red sticks, and when it's green sticks, you read it from bottom to top. So then again here, boom. And then when you see these long wicks like that, that's what it's called, a wick. The green part or the full part is the body, and then the long string is the wick. So the wick means it went as high as there, but then came back down. You get what I'm saying? So it started here, went all the way up to here, but within that 15 minutes, it came back down. Same for here. It started out here, went all the way down here, but within that 15-minute period, it went all the way back up. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and I just want you guys to kind of understand just the little basics of it. But let's get into the patterns. I know that's what everybody came here for, so we can see what this bull run is going to look like for all of us and how we're going to make this money. So let's reset the chart here. Let's back way up, and let's do this and move it over. Okay, so I'm going to leave the key levels here for now, I think. Let's see what this looks like. So this is a bull flag that has been formed and that we are currently breaking out of, and that we can see a lot of profit coming from. So if I draw that there and then pull it over a little bit, that's a pull. That was our big push up, and that is the start of a bull flag. So the flag is going upwards, and then we draw a triangle forming the actual flag part. So we'll go from the top, like how a flag does, down to the bottom, and we could really even go out here, but that's a really steep flag. But probably what's best and where we're starting to see the breakout start is around here. We could either go right here or here. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's going up now, so it doesn't really matter. But we could go like so. That's really steep. I prefer to draw them a little tighter in, especially because this is where we start to see, like, we're seeing lower highs, and then we start to see higher highs. Okay, we're starting to see higher highs and consolidation within our key levels here. So you see the flag, and then at the bottom of this flag, also known as a wedge, we have created a pop. So out of this, we saw it break the top layer here and start to uptrend rather than continuously go down. Then if it starts to look like this, that's not a bull flag at all. This is just a sell-off. So now we see this bull flag come down. And this goes many ways. It could look like this, it could look like this, it could look like a little bit upwards. But regardless, we see a flag, and like I said, if it starts to come below the pole, that's how you know it's not. It's more of a bull trap at that point, because it looks like a flag, but it's going much lower than what you thought. But now that we're seeing this consolidation, it's a good point to see that, okay, we're starting to look like we're coming out of this bull flag and maybe starting an uptrend very soon. But what's also intriguing is that if we draw another triangle over here, right? Go from there to there and here. Let's see if I can pull this out a little bit. No, I don't want. Okay. So now we have another wedge forming. Not necessarily a bull flag, because there's no huge push-up necessarily to justify saying it's a bull flag, but there is a wedge. And wedges also tend to bust out. So right now we're in this wedge right now, and it could continue to go out even a little further. If we were to draw this a little differently, like with lines, let's take a line here and extend it out. Boom. And then let's take our bottom line here, which is basically the support level. Yeah, basically the support level. in there. So it could come back down and then come back up and then bust out. But basically, once there's so much tension within the particular thing that you're trading or whatever, here, I'll clear this up so it's a little bit easier to see. Remove drawings and do it again. So as this wedge is coming to complete, hopefully, and bust out, draw it there, boom. Yeah, it's getting really tight. So we're looking at the resistance levels and the support levels are becoming a point where it's gonna bust. So it's a bunch of tension that's being built up and they're coming in together. So it's looking like we're gonna see a breakout, and it can break out either way. It doesn't necessarily have to break out low, but what makes us think that it's gonna break out high is that the overall market is having a recovery. The overall market has gone down. That's the only reason why we've seen all of this, not because of anything. Well, maybe a little bit influenced by the India sell-off from when Vitalik Buterin donated over there to help with their cause. But in reality, the whole market fell down. That's why it's done so much bad business. Like, it's come down so much, mostly because of the whole market, not because of the whole India thing. So anyhow, we have the wedge being formed, and we've seen some big consolidation on support, on that support key level that I had here before. I'll draw this out one more time so that we can have it as a point of reference. So that support level, we've seen a lot of consolidation there. Here, I can change it to a different color as well so it doesn't blend with the other one. And yeah, so we see it consolidate on this green line here, and then the wedge represents the amount of tension that's on it. So as this tension breaks, it is looking like we are going to have a big push up into potentially the only real support that we have, like a big one. We have a little bit of a resistance here, but not very much. And once we break past it, it's gone. So then the next real resistance that we're seeing, like a key level, is going to be here, which then I will draw this across so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Boom, make that red. And then that's the next like resistance level that we're going to see. So we could see it break out of this up to this resistance level at there, and then so on and so forth. And I think that after we get past this resistance level, I think that's where we're really going to start to see some big pushes up to places that we've never been before. Just like how SHIB has continued to do over and over again back here. This is not the first time that we have seen SHIB break out from numbers that we've never been at before. Like so. Broke out, consolidated, pushed, and went higher than ever before, then consolidated. Pushed out, went higher than ever before, consolidated for a long time. Then pushed out, went higher than ever before, consolidated for a little bit. Pushed out, went higher than ever before, consolidated, and then once again, higher than ever before. So I think that we're still going to make new highs. We're so at the early stages of SHIB that I think that it's to a point where we don't really know how high it can get. It's then comes down to just how many good catalysts we can have. Turn this back on. How many good catalysts we can have and how much growth we can have is all dependent basically on SHIB Swap and the different exchange listings that we're going to have in the future. And just all the different projects that are going to be had and endorsements and different ways to get more publicity and eyes on SHIB, which I know right now it seems like how many more eyes can we get on it? But guys, like, yeah, we're the most popular, but we're not even all the way out there yet. Like, we're not on Robinhood. We're not on Coinbase. We've already been on the news before. We've been mentioned on the news. But there's just so much more to be had and done with SHIB. I could go on and on about this, and there's so many other things that I want to make videos about. I want to put videos about different cryptocurrencies that I can analyze and do technical analysis breakdowns on, whether that be Bitcoin, Ethereum, SafeMoon, whatever. You guys let me know down in the comments what different cryptocurrencies or stocks, because I have experience in the stock market as well, that you guys would like to see me break down, because I can break down anything and it'd be pretty cool to show you guys what my analysis looks like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you guys have stuck through the end, say through the end in the comments. Just comment through the end and I'll know exactly what you guys are talking about, and I'll make sure to reach back out to you guys. All right, don't forget to invest every second of every day with a purpose, and thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Peace.